Hi, my name is Jeff and welcome back to my workshop. We're continuing work on the Walthers Cornerstone Modern Water Tower kit. After the last episode, the only thing I've done since then is to give it a coat of clear matte finish. And now I'm going to start decaling it. I'm going to start with this decal. It says Fox River. I think that'll be a nice town. The club is in Arlington Heights, Illinois. There's a town called Fox River Grove, not too far away. So it will kind of apply, except as you'll see here, these decals turned out to be pretty old. I don't know how long this kit's been sitting under the layout at our club, but it could have been there for as much as 20 plus years. And as you can see, as I try to slide the lettering off, it just starts tearing apart. It doesn't even make it off the backing paper. So we're going to try this again, a little slower. And we're going to have to piece things together, which means it won't be as neat. Now, one thing that would have been smart for me to do was to get some micro scale liquid decal film and put a coat over these decals. That would have helped, especially when I noticed that these were starting to fall apart. As I did others, I could have done that. It would have made this job a whole lot easier. I didn't do that. So I got Fox on, one letter at a time. But by then the river had kind of started sticking to the paper. So I dipped it in water very quickly. And as you can see, that created an even bigger mess. Yep. And at this point, that's when I decided to scrap this decal and try again. So I used a combination of water on a paintbrush and a toothpick to scrub off what was on there. And a toothpick just kind of picks it, slides it off. If it got too stuck, I could dip a paintbrush, a small brush into water, wet the area. That would loosen the decal film and help me pull it all off. So I went back to my decal sheet and to rethink this. I still like this little Fox decal that came in it, so figured I'd give it one more try. This one, again, I let it soak for 10 seconds. Tried to work a little bit quicker so that as soon as it started to loosen, I could get it floated onto the paper, keeping it a little wetter.
Just open the meeting and they're going to go.
And that worked a little bit better, so did that. And you can see it still had a few tears, so I had to nudge things into place. Then I decided to use words from two different towns on the decal sheet. So I cut out the word iron and ville, so I made the town Ironville. These still didn't work quite as well, so it took some time and a lot of fiddling with these to get them into position, using water and toothbrush and paintbrush, wet paintbrush, to move them into place, and using one half of the word at a time, working slowly. I got the iron on, and then I went in to do the ville. See, this still isn't in position perfectly, so I'm using the paintbrush to kind of float things right into position. Get that O in a tour, so I needed to make sure it got in right where I needed it. If I have to, when everything was done, I figured I could always go back over it with a fine point brush and some black paint and kind of close it up. I ended up not doing that and I left it as it was. Again, if you put decal film over this and let that dry, This would have made this a lot easier and would have given me a nicer finish. So there's a hint for you. Microscale decal film, liquid film, especially if you're working with older decals that may be a little brittle. This one I did my best to try and just control where it tore so that I could get them on one letter at a time if I had to. Eventually I was able to get them all the letters on and a gloss matte finish over it, a clear matte finish over it. Then I'm just weathering it with a off-white pan pastel just to kind of sun bleach it. Again, I'm using, this is I think burnt umber shade, which really does a great job of fading the paint. I did the top of the tank and along the base, places where the sun would get to. Did a lot less on the underside of the tank and the top of the pipe. In the door entrance area again, made sure particularly the top. And then around the base I use kind of a dirty clay color. Just add more dirt, make that concrete pad look like it's a little dirtier. Again, it's like a dry brush technique where you just get a little bit of the pan pastel on the sponge and then wipe off a lot of it. Then I'm using a oxide red, extra dark, kind of put a little bit of rust around where the pipe goes into the tank and into the ground. It just places water would gather even if it didn't leak from the pipe. I also put a little bit on the hinges of the doors. With that done, the model's ready to go on display. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming videos. And if you have your opinions or your thoughts on this, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching.